and this coaching staff very happy.
A great chapter to begin.
Let's go! Still on his feet. Slip the tackle. 20, 15, 10.
Bash, you feeling good?
Yeah, I'm ready whenever y'all are.
Okay, great. And I think we're good. It seems like we have everyone. So let's get this thing going. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm excited for you all to be here and join us. Really a great opportunity to celebrate Coach Hernandez, Lorenzo Hernandez, for winning the Los Angeles Rams Coach of the Year. Congrats again, Coach. And within that, provide a very unique opportunity. There we go. Just got muted here. But grateful for you all to be here, right? In celebration of, Coach Hernandez winning the Coach of the Year. Very excited to have Los Angeles Rams nose tackle Sebastian Joseph-Day, and really excited to get to know him even more today, and giving you all the opportunity to do that as well. So Sebastian, thank you so much for being here and taking some time out as well.
Thank you for having me. Hey, huge congratulations, Coach. What you're doing for these young men, man, and it's huge for these guys. And just know that, your influence is definitely going to go beyond their high school year. So huge congratulations to that, my man.
Awesome. So maybe, Sebastian, we can start it off, and can you share your childhood journey growing up, including when you started playing football all the way up to now playing for the Los Angeles Rams?
Yeah, it's quite funny, man. My first love was actually basketball. I was a huge basketball guy. I loved basketball, and I used to play that. I started that like 5th, 6th. I started that really young, and kind of football kind of became second. I started that like young as well, like 7th, probably 7th, a little later, and 7th grade. And when I started, I was actually super good at football, obviously, just basically off because it's my size, a lot bigger than everyone else, so that helped. But I just loved basketball. I don't know. So then over the years, as the years went, I was good at both. And it's probably when I got about in 8th or 9th grade is when high school coaches in football started talking and saying that, coming up to me and saying I kind of had a shot. There was a guy that went Division I in our school prior to me, and they kind of hit me with that. So I was like, all right, like cool, whatever. But I still love basketball, like, I'm still gonna be hooping, like. So I was just doing both. I was playing both, and in all actuality, kind of hit me like in 9th grade. I was like, yo, you know what? Like, I'm like 6'4", and I'm playing like power forward. Like, I'm playing power forward. Like, and I'm looking, and I'm going against these dudes. Like, we went in this like huge invitational down in Villanova, where all like the best basketball schools in PA come along. I had to guard this dude that was my position. My man was like 7 foot. And I was like, oh no. I said, yeah, it's deaded. Like, there's no shot. I'm not, I thought it was basketball, but you know what? Football it is. You know what I mean? I just came to that realization that, hey, I love basketball, but I'm not gonna be a basketball player, but it is what it is, So that was that. And I just kind of stuck football out. And I was blessed enough to obviously receive a scholarship. I had a great coach in high school. It came like my very last year, my last 2 years, and he helped me get recruited. I knew nothing about the process, so I didn't have any tape out, anything. I wasn't ranked, nothing, none of that star stuff, all that 3-star, 2-star, all that stuff, none of that stuff. I didn't know none of that stuff. So he came, helped me out, get recruited, and luckily, I was blessed enough to go to Rutgers University. Went to Rutgers University. Was blessed enough to get my degree in 4 years. Obviously played ball there. That was definitely a humbling experience, because you go from being a big fish in a small pond to, you're in a big pond now, and everyone was the big fish where they came from. You feel me? So now you're competing with everyone that was the best player in their school, that was the biggest player in their school, that was the strongest player, the fastest player. So now, it's kind of whoa, what I mean? It's kind of a wake up call. So that was kind of, the first 2 years was kind of rough trying to figure it out. But one thing that never kind of dwindled me was kind of my education. So I was lucky enough to, graduate in 4 and be able to pursue some of my masters. And my 5th year, I came back for my master. I was able to come back to Rutgers. My redshirt year, I was able to come back for my masters. And then, truth be told, I was able to get drafted by all God. Luckily, I was able to get drafted by the Rams. And I've been here for now going on my 4th season of playing football, man. It's crazy to think about, because I remember when I just got here. It's crazy to think about. I'm about to go in my 4th season. So, yeah.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Thanks for taking us, through that journey, and, congrats on the success. And, we've all seen you just make some big time plays on the field. You're talking about going on 4 years in the NFL, which is not an easy task to do. But can you talk more, right, even about the importance of hard work, just football intelligence and anything that has accredited to your success so far?
Yeah. Honestly, to be completely honest, football has taught me so many things. But to be honest, I feel like if you're able to work hard on the football field, that it's able to transition to everything you do in life. That's kind of my motto and what I've realized with the game of football. Obviously, the time spent on the film study, the time spent learning your plays, knowing formations, like kind of like you said with the football IQ. That's the same thing with schoolwork, right? It's the same thing. It goes hand in hand. Like, honestly, there's no difference between studying that playbook and then going home and studying your book. So I feel like, honestly, with that football IQ, it comes with, if you're able to play football and you're able to study and do all those things, then I feel like school, you could do the same thing with school. It goes hand in hand, and you're obviously a smart individual if you're able to do that. That's the way I look at it. IQ wise, obviously, hard work. When it comes to those things, obviously, taking care of your body is a huge thing, guys. When you do play the game, such a violent sport, just being able to put the right foods in your body, be able to get your rest, be able to get your sleep. Being able to, like I said, study your film and honestly just asking your coach extra questions, so you can learn the game better, because the more you know the game, the faster you could play. And those are some of the things I've done. Those are the things I do on the daily, taking care of my body, always in that playbook, always studying, always asking the coaches questions, always picking the brains of the coaches just to get to know the defense better and to know my opponent better. And those are kind of the things that I do on the daily. For sure.
Well, that's awesome. It's the grind, right? Every day, just working to perfect the craft. Exactly. Sounds like, and you've touched on the success, and of course, you kind of walked us through the process of just working hard, football IQ, just finding ways to be your best, right? And we always see the highlights, right?
Yeah.
Of the players, of the glory moments. But can you share maybe about a time where you had to persevere to truly achieve a goal?
For sure. So it's funny that you say that. So like I said, when I went to Rutgers, it wasn't very easy for me. Like I said, I went from being a big fish in a small pond to now, and I was a small fish in a big pond. Everyone, like I said, everyone was strong, everyone was fast, all that. So I remember I actually had a couple moments at Rutgers. I remember they wanted me to start my redshirt sophomore year. They wanted me to start. Like, they legit was handing me the job. They were like, "Yo, like, we want you to start. Like we want you to start." And I blew it. Like I legit just blew it. Like I legit blew it. Like I just wasn't ready. I wasn't ready there mentally. I wasn't there physically, I guess. Physically, I was there. I just mentally wasn't there. It was just a huge mental block for me. Just to achieve it, and I couldn't do it. And I lost that job. But one thing I didn't do was obviously I was upset in the moment, right? I was upset, but one thing I didn't do was give up, and that's why I love the game of football so much, because football teaches you how to persevere through those moments, right? Have those tough times, teaches you how to get back up when you get knocked down. Like, it might sound cliche, but it's true, guys. Like, it's so true. Like, there've been so many moments where you feel like you want to quit. You feel like when the coach is running you extra hard, you're like, oh man, I don't want to do this no more, but you don't. And all of that translates to real life. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, when you go to school, when you go into school and you're doing your work and you're getting your work done, and that teacher is hard on you about not being quiet in class, or being hard on you about this grade, and you try and get this grade up, you can't just quit. You feel me? You got to push through it. You got to just buckle down and get in them textbooks. And that's why I just love the game so much. But another story I could say was my senior year. So my senior year at Rutgers. So my final year. Now, this is like draft year. This is an important year, guys. Like, this is a very important year for me. So it's like, all right, I'm going to get drafted out of this year. Like, this is the goal, draft, combine, all that stuff. And I'm having a great year. Like, this is my second game in. Like, I'm balling out. Like, this is my third game in. We're in Nebraska. And I get double teamed. And the guy misses me on the double team, and he hits helmet right on my fourth metacarpal on my hand. My hand shatters. I broke my fourth metacarpal helmet. I still split the double team, and I made the play. And then I went to put my hand back down. And I fell forward. Oh. I was like, oh my God. I was like, what the hell's wrong with my hand? Because so much adrenaline was running through my hand. So I was like, I didn't it hurt, but I was like, I just thought I got hit in my hand. Right. Then, they take me in the back, X-ray me, and remember, this is like senior year, so this is like, okay, I'm about to get drafted. Like, this is everything. I'm playing good. My fourth or third game in, and they X-ray it, like, oh, Sebastian, your hand's broken. Wow. I'm like, what? I'm like, it's broken. What do you mean it's broken? It's like, yeah, it's broken. Like, I'm like, what can I do? I'm like, can I play? So like I said, guys, and this is what I'm talking about with football. Like, this is what I'm saying about football. Like, there's two things I could have easily done. I could have been taken the easy road, have been like, you know what? All right, well, I guess it's chalked. I'm gonna wait for this to heal. I'm gonna be selfish, and I'm gonna go and just call it quits. I'm gonna wait for my hand to heal, and I'm just prepared for the draft. I'm gonna do my combine prep. I could have easily done that. I could easily done something like that. But in my heart and in my head, I worked so hard that summer, and I was like, I'm not gonna let my teammates down. Like, how that looks, like being a leader, like, how's that going to look for me, to just quit on everybody just because of me being selfish about my future? Like, in all actuality, I chose, I was like, you know what? Nah, just put me back in, cast me up. I'm going to play. So I played that whole year with a broken fourth metacarpal. So I had this big ball in my hand while I played. And I went right back out there too. And I actually had a really good game, which is actually really funny. Obviously, I couldn't have played as good as I've been playing, but I still had a solid year. And, God was looking out. My hand healed. By the end of the season, I was able to get my cast off. I played through it. And God was looking out that I actually got drafted. I got drafted, which is crazy because honestly, maybe if I didn't play, I probably wouldn't have gotten drafted, right? So the Rams probably saw something in me that were like, wow, they got to play with a broken hand, and then give up. At least this guy, we know that this guy is tough. This guy's dependable. This guy could persevere through hard things. And that's the same thing with life, guys. Like I said, life's going to throw some hard things at you guys, but just don't give up. You feel me? Don't give up. Don't let that thing take over you. Your attitude and your perspective about it. It's all about your attitude and perspective, how you could take that negative and flip it into a positive, or turn it around and make it a positive for you, whatever that situation may be. So yeah, those are my two stories.
Oh, that's incredible. Even, those moments, you can say, in a sense, when you suffered, it produced that perseverance, which developed, it seems like, the character, right? And, I thank you for just sharing that, and the hope in the midst of the chaos, right? Or the we're rooted in, and the perspective that you had to just see how everything just kind of worked out, man. That's incredible. And you had a great opportunity, to be drafted. And the reality is some students may never play football again, which is, a harsh reality to accept and a difficult transition. And I see you on Twitter, you got the Dine and Bash, in 2020, you were selected as a, Rams NFLPA rep. So how important is it to embrace your identity? And do you think being more than just a football player?
Yeah, no, guys, listen, man. And one of the biggest things I hated I hated about that stereotype of being football players, that we aren't intelligent. That is the falsest narrative I've ever heard, guys. Don't let anyone try to put that stereotype on you guys. You guys are some of the smartest dudes to do it, because playing football is a team sport. You have to take 11 guys and all be in unison to be able to play. You know what I'm saying? So me identifying, honestly, I don't identify myself as a football player. I identify myself as a person who plays football. So I'm Sebastian Joseph-Day, and I just happen to play football. And that's been huge for me. School's been huge for me, because at the end of the day, like, I know there's only a certain amount of time that I could play, you know. For the guys that aren't going beyond high school, know that football doesn't define you, that you guys define football. You know, you guys are using football as a tool to navigate through life. And that's why, like I was saying prior, that's why I love the game, because you guys could take so much from football, right, and apply it to life itself and be super successful with it, from the hard work aspect, right? Like, at the end of the day, guys, like, the guys that don't play football in your high school, they aren't working as hard as y'all. You know what I mean? Like, think about that. Think about all the work that y'all put in, all the plays y'all have to know, all the hours y'all put in, the two-a-days, the camp, the hot in the summer, and then playing through COVID this year, like, or playing through COVID, like, y'all, like, no, like, trust me, guys, you guys got to give yourself more credit, that y'all could, if y'all could play football, y'all could do anything y'all put your minds to, because it is the hardest sport, the toughest sport, the most mentally taxing sport, and physically taxing sport there is. But yes, me defining myself as a football player, I never define myself as a football player, because we're all more than that. We're all individuals. We're all individuals that just happen to play football. That's why Dyna Bash came about. That's why I took my school so seriously. You know, after this, I want to pursue a broadcasting career on TV, hopefully after this. And you know, luckily, through me taking school seriously, I've been blessed enough to be able to do internships and externships, even in the league, to work on those things. So guys, don't let anyone ever define you as a football player, because, you know, you guys are so much more than that. And know that you guys are important. Know that you guys can accomplish anything you guys want to accomplish, because you guys do play the toughest sport there is to play.
That's great. That's great reassurance, you know, perspective, and even being someone that the youth can imitate here, you know, based off your story and what you're doing. So I appreciate you sharing that. I know you wanted to, you know, talk to Coach Hernandez here, but first wanted to open it up. Maybe, you know, some student athletes, maybe two of you want to ask a question quick before we wrap up. Is there anyone kind of, you know, you can raise your hand physically or through the reaction, and I can call on you. Anybody want to ask a question to Sebastian? I don't want to mess up your name, brother. Is it Arenio? Arenio? I'm sorry.
You can just call me Aaron.
All right, go on, Aaron.
So I know you talked about your experience at Rutgers, but What did you do mentally and physically to overcome adversity?
Yeah, so no, it's a great question, bro. It's a great question. So yeah, when I was going through that tough time at Rutgers, so the issue was with me was that, you know, a lot of dudes were bigger and stronger than me, believe it or not. Like, they were a lot bigger and stronger. So during the times that I wasn't playing, bro, I would, like, physically, this is the physical part, I would, like, physically be in the weight room like a madman, bro. Like, I was in there all the time, just lifting, just trying to get stronger, trying to get stronger, trying to get faster, just taking as much as time as I can just to build that. Mentally, obviously, was the playbook. And I'll even take it to the next step is spiritually, bro, just kind of get in the word. Like, I don't know if some of y'all are believers. I'm a huge believer. And those 2 years at Rutgers really tried me. So, you know, I was able to really, like, dive in my faith, because, you know, in college, you're away from your parents. So, like, you know, they're always, like, talking about God and, like, putting it on you. But, like, that time I was actually able to really find my faith on my own, and obviously go through that. So I would say spiritually, I was able to just dive in my faith more. I had to dive in my faith more. Mentally, I had to really dive in my playbook, bro. And I knew that I had to know it at the back of my hand. So, like, if I ever did get an op, like, bro, I'm just not messing it up. You feel me? Like, I'm not making this slip. And then physically, just, bro, I was in there grinding, bro, as much as I could. You know, after school, I was in there, like, after class, I'd be in there. nighttime, I'll be in there. Like I was in there, bro, all the times, getting stronger, bigger. And whether it was like, little things, obviously I'm not gonna say hurt yourself, don't hurt yourself and overdo it, but just find little things that you could do, like a little chest pump, little arm pump, stuff like that daily. And then obviously agility stuff like that, bro, just to make yourself bigger, stronger, faster, and obviously spiritually, those are the three things I really did to overcome. The spiritual aspect really helped me overcome all that.
Thanks, Aaron, for asking that question.
Great question.
Anyone else? One final question. Anyone want to ask a question? Go on. Is it? Yeah, I see you, Jim, with the blue shirt on.
So I know you touched on it a little bit, and your answer might vary, from high school to college to NFL. But how do you continuously and consistently push yourself day in and day out to be the best teammate, leader, and brother in weight room and on the field?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I think leadership. All right, bro. So I'm gonna tell you this: leadership is tricky, right? Leadership is tricky in the sense of you have to be able to relate. You have to be able to relate and see the perspective of the guys that you're trying to lead, right? But you also can't. You have to be able to empathize and see where they're coming from, and then not necessarily command them, but like befriend them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's like a good mix of in between. There's a good in between. So let me answer your first question. So the first question, every day, I just kind of, I don't know, I'm just motivated. I always just motivate myself, kind of like where I've been through, the things I've gone through since I was a little kid. I know in myself that I've always wanted to be the best version of myself. I always want to be the best player of myself, right? For myself, off of the sacrifices that my parents have made, right? The sacrifices that so many people made for me to be where I am. So that's what motivates me daily. What motivates me to be a good leader, I think, in and out the weight room, I just think honestly is just the people, the guys I grind with each and every day, and I think it's special when you're able to be vulnerable with a group of guys, right? Be vulnerable and get them to trust you, and you trust them as well, and be able to do something beautiful together, which is win a championship, right? Because that's so cool to get 11 guys on each side of the ball to all click. Like, that's hard to do, man. And I think leadership comes from you being able to never think that you're better than anyone in that room, right? And always being able to understand who they are and not try to change them, but also use their strengths to kind of make the team better, right? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I feel like where leadership could go wrong sometimes is when guys like try to like command dudes, right? When they try to command dudes, tell dudes what to do. In all actuality, I don't think leadership is telling dudes what to do. I think leadership is being able to relate to guys, right? Being able to, when they're going through something, being able to put your arm around them and putting your arm around them and console them when stuff goes wrong. Being able to obviously, hold your teammates accountable, but not holding them accountable in front of necessarily everybody. Sometimes there's a right place and then a right time to be able to just pull them aside and be like, yo, bro, like, you feel me? Like, you should probably finish that rep. Like, you don't think like, you know what I mean? Like, everyone's counting on you this year. You're not feeling that rep, rather than calling them out. You know what I'm saying? There's a fine line between it. So I think being able to kind of keep that balance, is kind of what will make you a great leader in and out the weight room. So, and especially with some of the best ones I've been around, like AD, Aaron, he's a great leader in that sense that he does everything the right way, right? And every once in a while he'll say something. And then there was another guy I had, Brockers, D lineman, he was more so the vocal guy that would speak more. But so it's kind of your approach, how you read the room, how you can read the room, my man. Hopefully that helps. Hope that helps you out.
Thanks for asking that question. So appreciate you all being here. And lastly, Sebastian, as you know, Coach Lorenzo Hernandez was selected as the Los Angeles Rams Coach of the Year, and I believe you had a few things you wanted to talk to him about.
Yes, Coach. First of all, I just want to congratulate you for being selected as the Los Angeles Rams Coach of the Year during the tough season of COVID-19. What you're doing for these young men's lives are very important, and it doesn't go unnoticed. And obviously you've brought much success to Garfield High, winning many championships and whatnot. So in honor of being a Los Angeles Rams Coach of the Year, the Rams want to award you and the football team $5,550 in support of your upcoming season this year. Congratulations, Coach. Well deserved. Well, congratulations to all you guys. You guys deserve it. You guys are killing it. Keep up the great work. And we really appreciate y'all. God bless. And keep grinding, y'all. Keep grinding. Remember, y'all are more than football players. Keep doing what you're doing. And success is beyond the field. Remember that. All right?
That's awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank everyone at the Rams organization for giving us this opportunity to really showcase, what our program's about, and also the amazing partnership, not only that you have with our school, but our district. I am sure we're going to use those funds to continue to develop our program and take care of our kids and our community. So on behalf of myself and our administration and our district, I just want to say thank you to the Rams for always being there for our community and our student athletes as we move forward. Thank you all so much. Truly appreciate you.
We appreciate you, Coach. Thank you so much for all that you do, Sebastian. Thank you so much for the wisdom that you shared today. It was well needed, such a great impact. And Garfield High School continuously lead the way. We're cheering for you all this year. So thank you all for coming out. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys.
All right, now have a good one. Thank you.
Take care and be safe.
All right, you too.
And this coach just had very
A great chapter to begin.
Let's go! Still on his feet. Slip the tackle, 20, 15, 10.